what was and what wasn't, where is what I've been ever since I was born. At the commencement, I adorn squash, beans, and corn, lots of strings and horns. Outdrum the outcome, the child of athlete is back in action, fact not fashion. Most y'all internet has-beens, more like commercials with whack acting. From commercial to action, I'm laughing back up to laughing. I spit man, God, civilization, John G. Jackson, like a Gatlin, the last dragon. Cosmic memory of an Atlantean. E3 technology is who I am in skin. Walking the landmass as Atlas. Some say I'm batshit crazy, but that's the masses for you. Can you blame the people? Most been trained to be feeble, tame sheeple by the evil, who means to keep you cashless in a fascist society where the vax and the mass are the blame for the dying spree. You the root race, they medieval. Eat the cheap food they feed you or read through these fools. Restorer or rebel, can't play God unless acquainted with the devil. Polarity you choose, acquainted with its level. Frequency, distance is an illusion, so please unveil the confusion. Look beyond the shadow of the late or hollow years, see the far and distant lands where tomorrow appears. Put it in perspective, decision of each being the latest, most accurate vision of peace, where each one teach one to reach one, freeze one from under the trees and stump of the impeached one. Where my left hand, I write a pen to pen quotes, word to see Lord L. I'ma be more hell to these foreigners till they leave our air, land, and seashore and sell their asses right back across that agua. Screw y'all's dishonorable dogma, something proper with no lube. The past 25 years I've been the son of solitude. The oil that fused my chakras is cruel. Love my people towards the evils, I'm heartless and rude. Firstborn of Inkle, the dawn of the twinkle. Twinkle little star, I got bright and I could think too. I blink through a wrinkle in time with Van Winkle and Rhyme. And my shit stink too, to link you to source. Yes, you rather have AI sink you. I not only know the ledge, I'm on the brink too. They want to extinct you, your essence is viable. Crimes against humanity, your oppressors liable. They try to write on my recital, yet my presence vital as the session's title. Welcome to the seventh cycle. The heart of man is as the sun, the reception order for the divine ray of spiritual intuition descended unto man. The brain of man is as the moon, the source of human intellect. The body of man is the earthly vehicle. Let the sun impregnate the moon, or let the spiritual fire prompt the human intellect. And let the result fructify in the womb of a purified body. And you will develop the son of the sun, the quintessence, the stone of the wise. Peace. I teach you up. The human heart cries out for help. The human soul implores us for deliverance. But we do not hear their cries, for we neither hear nor understand. But the man who hears this the call to my ancestors. Rid the land of damn settlers. Turn our signs to hand gestures. Whether we feeling immense pressure. Sun will store each clan. Having Esther from Castilians to conquistadors, Iberians, and traitorous Moors. Didn't arrive as friends to us, whether as slavers, invaders, or disguised traders, missionaries, Islamic Christians with dictionaries. No mutual goal to coexist. Those warships in our tributaries. Military tactics to test shores. Foreigners have no respect for. Treaties and oath, I expect more from those who want to conquest except war. They didn't bring women during the invasion. Minds were on rape, miscegenations, the spread of mis and disinformation, which manufactured the miseducation of the soul. Carter G. Washington, Robert Taylor Holmes, Marcia, Brooklyn, projects and hoods, where we were pushed in Cali to Florida, hardly cushion. It's like the terrorists, never-ending shipment of American Indians from Belize to the Caribbean. Gives I shot the sheriff meaning. Shut my field can be read, no book. Flows in my veins were prepared with no hook. Behind the back pass. With flair, no look. This beef is rare, get fed, no cook. We're peaceful people, they call us animals. Truth of the matter, they were cannibals. Practice unclean religious rites. Evidence tangible, check the annals. Operate heat, this beast flammable. Feel free to critique this canonical. If your brain's deeply maniacal, release or get treated damnable. Used to be Hannibal, I talk black hole. Fighting a line out the cheese back with bulk that's big muscle drip. Up to tussle with Uncle Sam, Big Brother, and his clique. I put that on Abraham and Esther. It's a must, we band together. Blend and the devil to stand the weather. Sound strong, each clan better. Whether we feeling the man's pressure. Turn our signs to hand gestures. Rid the land of damn settlers. This is a call to my ancestors.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Yeah, you see up there, I felt like this might be important. I was attempting to hold off on this. I was down there setting everything up to do the podcast for Friday. And I said, let me take a break because, you know, something hit me. And after I took my shower, I took a hot shower. The water was extremely hot. And I put the cold on, and I'm good with the cold water. Boy, that thing had me hoo, and jumping around up in there. Anyway, I just thought I'd give you something to smile about. I'm always expressing how important it is about frequencies. And you know why I told you about the 440 and the 808 and all that? Well, as you see with Manatee Hall there, with the 741 and the 5, well, we're going to get a little bit into that. A lot of people aren't aware of the devil's interval. How could I put this? These individuals have always known how to make you sick. When they started incorporating the 5G, I knew right then 2, 3, and 4G was already bad enough. I remember 1986, 87, when they tested it on, it was 12 of us. We were just E3s, E1 to E3s. I think it was my second year in the Navy, third year. All I know is when they brought, because we were transitioning to the Hummers from the old Douglas, you know, the Jeeps, World War II in Korea and Vietnam. And they had this big octagon shaped thing on it. And it was real big. It wasn't as small as the one you see in the cities if they still utilize them. And man, that, you know, we were at where we do the power ups where you could see like 18 rings coming out the back of jets, like when it, and you can't stand within a certain thing because that frequency would literally scramble your insides. But I want to break some of that down. But first I want to get into scripture, and then I want to go into the binary of it. I guess you could consider it the math. You know, to me, math is no more than just nothing but frequencies. Math is a form of a perversion they use to inoculate you while they have all these things, chemicals to break you down, and then frequencies to subjugate you. Most people doing these heinous acts, they would never do this, utilizing drugs. They're attempting, without knowing, to nullify the thing that is driving them crazy. The body is screaming, and nobody's aware because you have these doctors who are giving more things to make you even more sick. So let me get into a little scripture. I just wanted to give you a little indoctrination. Not indoctrination. I want to just get you up to par. So that way you'll have a little bit of readiness. So I'm going to read John 1:14, Psalms 82. I'm going to get into Proverbs 18:21 for those who would like to follow. Okay. Then we're going to go on from there. I need to turn these notifications off. And I want you to pay attention because everybody keeps looking at an outward source. And I know some people unfollow me because they're so steep in their religion, but they're not reading and they have no real discernment. They may have 0.001% of discernment. And that is based on just the properties of, I feel good, so thank God and thank Jesus, without no true understanding, not to push you away. I feel like the weak really need to stand by. I'm not downing or belittling, and I don't big up my people. What we need this moment to big up people, and I'm not talking about to stroke your egos. Brothers, we need to big up each other. You know, 7 grams always lets me know he loves me, and I love him and all of you. I love all of you. And as a few of you are the same thing. My brother back home, or grew up together, every morning CP, he comes on and he express how he loves everybody. And we need to manifest that because it's hard to manifest it when we're thinking about Georgia and the trans community, all the perversions. That is crying out, not aware and unsure. We need to love one another, y'all. And love does not equate sex. The real love has nothing to do with that. That is an act. Like taking a seed, putting it in the soil and watering it, or germinating it and preparing it for March or April. Are you getting where I'm going? Okay. So in John 1, the New International and the King James pretty much the same. In the beginning was the Word, And the Word was with God. And the Word was God. The frequency was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him, all things were made. Everything is based upon atoms and frequencies, vibrations, right? If I was to go out, it doesn't matter what frequency I would utilize on my tablet or whatever platforms I can utilize. And I was to get a tin pan drum, a hand, drum, or a hemp skin, or deer skin and cow skins, because these things have made that, and put sand on it and put that woofer underneath it and started, a horn, and started playing these frequencies, wouldn't it make patterns, mosaics? Okay. Through him all things were made, through the Word. For the Word was with God, and God was the Word. And without him nothing was made that has been made. Do you have discernment? Do you know exactly what that means? In John 1, chapter 1, verse 14. That was John chapter 1. Okay. One of the most important verses in the Bible, it reads, the Word became flesh. Vibrate, we vibrate. We're based upon a frequency, a construct beyond. Never pay attention to some scientist who wants to break you down to just carbon and 6 protons, neurons, and neutrons. How do protons, neurons, and electrons operate? Do they fuse together? No, they're always moving. But at what rate do they establish physical proportions? The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. And made his dwelling among us. Do you even know what that means? The heaven is around us. We are entwined with the heavens. We have seen his glory. How many of you gaze upon the river and the water? His glory. Are you not majestic? Are you not to be glorified without false praises? We'll get into that later on. The glory of the one and only Son. When he made us, he broke the mold. Even no two twins, triplets, or quintuplets are the same. Son does not allude from woman, so please, women, remove that feminist narrative. Who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. Our existence is a truth. Is it not factual? I know most of you say we're living in a matrix, and you listen to those wayward brothers. Stop that. That is to create the metaverse and everything else you see transpiring. Stop allowing that. No, we're not in a matrix. The lie. If you want to consummate that as the matrix, go right ahead. But the sister didn't mean it like that. And y'all ever sat down and chatted with her? The glory of the one and only Son who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. The Word did not just appear to be human. It became flesh. Psalms 82. God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth among the gods. And y'all have yet to start judging, for you have not yet recognized nor accepted who you truly are. I keep telling you, Lucifer is just a name. Y'all just don't get it yet. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Shelah. You continue to accept them because they have these goofy costume characters running around. They have this fake system over you. Yet you would not adhere to your truth because you don't know. Or you repudiate and refuse. Because like me, I say I hold no sway with religion, but I'm always expressing to you, as long as you're studying and seeking discernment and knowledge and knowing, our information is there. Have I not? There is nothing they haven't done. They stolen and created and perverted everything. Just like all of our inventions, they have weaponized. Do you see what I have done? So again, how long will ye judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Like all the trolls, why do you waste your times with them? Because you saw how I parlayed with them? No, I said what needed to be said and let them go on about their business. I didn't care. I just wanted to see. And Ron will get rid of them quick. Woo, I love it. And he butt dials and get rid of people too. And thank goodness he's not doing that. But anyway, our beloved brother. Defend the, well, we'll laugh, people. Defend the poor and fatherless. You have homeless people out here. I was looking at this video of this little, like, 16-year-old girl. And this brother, his African brother, gave her some stuff. He didn't take her. And then there was this young guy's YouTube. He really goes around to help, but he's getting views, and he knows it's monetary. Yet he does go out there, and he cleans people up, and he looks for them again. So in lieu of that, I cannot judge them. It would be unjust, for I am not walking his shoes, nor do I have his mental. Because the capacity right now, most people, has been raised. So we must allow things, as long as there's no harm, to ascend. Yes, defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. You ever pay attention to these cops who don't have no jurisdiction telling people they can't feed the homeless? And then the people in their ignorance sit there debating, well, no. They have the wrong people standing around them. What they need is around 50 to 100 people armed to say, not today. Now go to your fatherless, motherless government, and you deal with them, the liars. Moral subjugation in all platforms. It doesn't care across the military, the police department, sheriffs, and everything. They are to question everything. I noticed because I've trained enough guys that went into the police force, and it's there. If it's not morally sound, it doesn't matter what mayor or city council, most of them are sold out. You can buy them for $5,000 or $10,000. I've drank and sold drugs to many of them in my days. All right. I went out and drunk and listened to them banner because they got a few dollars and they think that's just, they're adequate to carry on as if, hey, pip, pip, cheerio, and all that. No. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. This is Psalms 82. They know not, neither will they understand, for they walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course, out of order, because you, the gods, are out of order. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. It's not for you to worry what his name is and all this nonsense. He gave you grace. He gave you an abundance of everything. It is the wicked ones, as you know. But ye shall die like men because of your, and fall like one of the princes. So arise, O God, and judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. You don't have to banter and argue with the ignorant. I told you it's important for the communion to come together. Now let's move forward. Proverbs 18, chapter 18, verse 21. Yeah, the King James Version. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. That means you will be rewarded with the healing factors. You remember our organs and the bells and all the beautiful sounds, the music that we made, not perverted, the 440 and the fake Jews. I don't bite my tongue when I say that. In the music industry. Because you got to remember, it's the Rockefellers and Rothschilds who agreed upon in 1939, was it? About the music coming out the radio to be hit at a certain frequency. Because they knew it would make you sick when he was establishing the first petroleum-based medicines, which later on created the heart and the cancer centers. and started pushing more and more drugs, which further made man and woman irrelevant because it subjugated them to more poisons or toxins. Let's go over here. I want to read Proverbs 27, verse 1. Boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. 2. Let another man praise thee, and not thine own mouth, a stranger, and not thine own lips. 3. A stone is heavy, and the sand is weighty. A stone is heavy, the sand is heavy. But a fool's vexation is heavier than they both. That's like looking at a beach and seeing boulders and rocks. You know it's heavy. But you look at the rock first because you stubbed your toe, you fell off one, you slipped on some moss. So you recognize the rock, but you don't realize that the sand of that beach, it's immense. Yet, a fool's vexation, being vexed, self-vexed if you need be, or those who've created it, is heavier than both of those. That means you're immense. I don't think you get it. 4. Wrath is cruel, and anger is overwhelming. But who is able to stand before jealousy? That's heavy. It's poetic. Wrath is cruel, very much so. You see that now with fake people on somebody else's land who are pretty much Semitic, blowing and killing them and targeting based on some fake conditioning as if it's okay. So wrath is cruel. We see that. And you see the cartels and their foolishness, right? Led by certain individuals who are harmonically disruptive. We'll get to the bottom. You'll have a clear understanding. And anger is overwhelming. But who is able to stand before jealousy? It is better is open rebuke than love that is hidden. You get that? Better is open rebuke. I just did that. Than love that is hidden. I expressed the importance of it, right? It's not the I, it's the importance for you to recognize that in yourself, okay? It's supposed to be us, not we, not sanctified and sectioned off. As you see the partitions are growing within a certain community that's not a community, but supposed to be a way of life. Orthogonous, right? 6. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are profuse. Whoa. Whoa. Faithful are the wounds of a friend. My service dog, no matter what would happen, she would have gave her life to protect me, and I hers. It wasn't about some man and dog narrative. Would I do any less for you? But the kisses of an enemy are profuse. You know the Godfather, Corleone. You know, sitting in the front seat in the driver's seat. You know what I mean? Okay. 7. The full soul, listen to this. The full soul loatheth a honeycomb, but to the hungry soul, every bitter thing is sweet. Now you know the importance of bitters, the cleansing of the body, the purification, not the putrefaction. 8. As a bird that wandereth from her nest, so is a man that wandereth from his place. You know why you saw Netta? And I got to call them out. It's the righteous thing to do. Sarnetter and Umar and them won't dare walk over here. It's not because they're hiding this. I know a lot of people have tagged certain individuals because I would destroy them. Literally. But first I would take them to bar and serve them a few drinks. Give them a towelette so they wipe their bra. So is as a bird that wandereth from her nest, so is a man that wandereth from his place, misleading the people. There's a number of different ways to walk away from your nest besides broken frequencies, chemicals, broken families, based on all these things. Without all these things, families would not be broken. There would be no wars. 9, oil and perfume rejoice the heart. I guess that's frankincense and myrrh. So doth the sweetness of a man's friend that cometh of hearty counsel. Ten, thine own friend and thy father's friend forsake not. And go not to thy brother's house in the day of thy calamity. Better is a neighbor that is near than a brother far off. I learned that the hard way. Did y'all get that? Now let's get into the devil's interval. Remember, for ye are gods, based upon frequencies, right? What is the fourth chord? We'll get to that. The devil's interval. The unsettling sound of tritones. Now, I remember going to music in school, and they were talking about tritones as if there was a good thing. You know, you hear that. No. Because you're capable and able to play that doesn't necessarily mean you should. But when you have certain people behind you telling you that is it. Jimi Hendrix dealt with that. And he tired and sickened of it because he wanted to play melodies. Same thing with Prince. They wanted to bypass that, take him to the crossroads. You paying attention? Tritones. The devil's interval is in music theory. The word theory. The tritone is an interval of 3 whole steps that can sound unresolved and creepy. Okay? Over time, the sound has wound up over time. Well, we created all music, you know that. Over time, so you know who mitigated it. The sound has wound up in jazz, rock, and even Broadway musicals. The devil's interval that makes you sick and dissonant energy, diseasing, stressful, that if you continue to listen to it, you could literally die. They have held the secret knowledge, Rockefellers, Rothschilds, them, and by which the pyramids were constructed based on the math from 0, 0, 0. That's a balance. People always used to say, and I know I've spoken on this before, is the devil interval real? Well, like the beast, it goes by many names, right? Diabolos in musica, devils in music, devils in music. That's what Diabolos in musica means, devil in music. The devil's interval, the tritone, the triad, and the flatted fifth. As its Latin moniker suggests, it's an evil-sounding combination of notes that's designed to create a chilling or foreboding atmosphere. As far as Satan's chord, right? In music, a tritone consists of 2 notes that are 3 whole steps apart, such as C to F. C to F. So if you, like me, messing with 6 strings, even the bass, or you playing with the clarinet or the trombone, the clarinet or the trombone, you know exactly where I'm coming from. Even the flute, when you got your reed and you spit it, and you know where those notes are. We never really played that, but when you get caught in between there, it's a funky. If you know, you know. Not found in either the major or minor scales. And due to its discordant sound, it has been called the devil's chord. So what is the 4th chord? Or is it evil? The augmented fourth, or tritones, which spans 3 whole steps in the scale, is one of the most dissonant musical intervals around. It was considered unpleasant and ugly, and was named Diabolus in Musica. The devil in music, okay? And you wouldn't use anything diabolical to praise the Lord, would you? And yet you can find it in a lot of these churches. Interestingly, though, check this out. Interestingly, I had to add these to my notes. The difference between 440 and 741 hertz, 440 and I'm not going to play it. I was 440 and 741 hertz is known in musicology as the devil's interval. For maximum suppression of human consciousness, mind you, the frequencies were naturally resonant. Listen to this. The frequencies we naturally resonate with, and which are the most biologically and psycho-spiritually enhancing, must be maximally suppressed. So 440 and 741 hertz is what the world is moving on. Let me pull this up right quick. What you want, fat boy? You know, I'm not feeding you tomorrow, man. You getting big, boy. Why is it doing that? Don't be so slow. They're always in everything, bro. These monkeys, boy, they are something. No, seriously. I'm going to type it in because I don't feel like scrolling back. Oh, I typed the wrong thing. Why is 440 hertz frequency considered the standard pitch for musical instruments? Pitch. Let me read this. The standard pitch today that most musicians tune to is the A above middle C, which equals 440 hertz. All the other notes are pitched in relation to this note as well. In earlier times and cultures, this note had other values, as low as 376 hertz in early 18th century France, and as high as 560 hertz in early 17th century Germany, referred to as North German church pitch. Are you paying attention? That's why it's considered the standard pitch. It's weakening and demeaning and destructive. It's not pulling up when I might have to slide all the way back. It doesn't want to. Oh, I think I typed it wrong. Hold on. Not 2, 1. I don't think it's going to pull it up now. So, just to let you know, the frequency bands, now you must look this up yourself, for 5G networks come in 2 sets. Frequency range 1 is from 450 megahertz to 6 gigahertz. Frequency range 2 is from 2425 gigahertz to 52.6 gigahertz. I want y'all to look up what is the relationship to 440. Okay? Whether it's WCDMA, it's up to you. Okay? And because people are finding this out, they're going to do their best to hide it when it goes to 6 or 30 hertz. Okay? because you know they lie, so they must hide it. But if you look long enough and deep enough, that's why it's important to do your work. You will find exactly why 5G, in my opinion, is a weapon. Okay, because it uses 100 and 800 hertz, y'all. But what's the breaking? Where is that? Where's that lap? You get what I'm saying? Because it's like a cooking frequency. So we know that Tesla's 432 hertz in the 369 code, right? Music that uses 432 hertz tuning instead of 440 hertz. Added as 2020 11.9 or 1618 52 an identifier. They had to get rid of that. He came here and he learned that, y'all. That's right. He was in New York, East Orange, and then he went back to New York. Look at the time frame and look at pictures to know the history. Okay. So 5G bands by country. Listen to this. Europe, 3400 to 3800 megahertz. China, 3300 to 4990 megahertz. Japan, 3600 to megahertz to 4900 megahertz. Korea, 34 megahertz to United States, 3700 megahertz to 4200 megahertz. They are purposely sticking it to you. So now you see the importance of why I say you need to rise above the occasion. You need to ascend. You need to change how you perceive, think. It doesn't matter what's going on. You have to get in touch with your right hemisphere. There is a frequency that actually works on this conduit factor of bringing the right hemisphere into peripheral. All right? All right? It does. Really does. And you need to look into what frequency that is, what binary. And if you can get a platform that is a little more at ease as far as the tuning, and you can bring that up, then you can go ahead. And even you have to think right hemisphere. You have to literally think this side, I have to utilize it. It's got to be burdensome. It really does, because you have to turn it on. You might get little slight headaches. So slow baby steps. All right. So I'm going to shut this down. I know Snooze is going to give me a call, and then we'll get our read in because I'm going to be eating by that time. I love y'all. I think somebody donated. I wanted to say thank you. We're getting there. I did add 2 books. One was, and I shared that with you, and I did add it. Okay. I'm not going to lie. I always do. Eugene Washington, beloved. Thank you. 3 up. Thank you. I appreciate you. And I know y'all see me. Most of the time I be I'm speaking the truth, but I put on acts because some people are driven by it. I would like for y'all to get used to this and this moniker and things are going to change. Things are changing around you. Don't think about it. If you're in a place where you know something is going to happen, do yourself a favor. Get away. I've attempted with people who are pretty intelligent. But intelligent doesn't mean smart or by the acts thereof. Okay? I really appreciate y'all taking the time. So in roughly about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I don't like time. I don't do that. It's 1:31. So 3:31, 3:30. Okay? We'll come back and we'll get our read on it. All right? And I appreciate y'all taking the time to listen. I felt that was important because it hit me. Now, that cold water hit me, and I was like, frequency. And I remember that even though I take vitamin B and all that stuff, I was like, I'm letting the cold get to me. Whoo! I was just in there. You would have thought I was Pearl Maybelline. Anyway, I was just, woo, child, woo, woo. Oh, my cat was at the door looking at me like he was like, fool. Whoo, whoo. I was like, wait a minute, man, I take cold showers all the time because I have my pores wide open from the hot shower. I was just supposed to allow it to shock the system. It has to shock the system. I did. It's a great thing. It is invigorating. It is eye-opening. It is spectacular. And that's when it said to me, Red, you need to take a little bit of Bible verses. I could have used the Torah, even the Quranic. I could have used some of the Quranic verses, but I said, let me go ahead with the King James, or the next version. There's, I don't know how many there are. And let me break down the frequency based on Manny P. Hall and a couple other individuals. And as you can see, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I always send y'all hearts, okay, when y'all make the donations. But let me show you. As y'all know, I keep tons of notes, and I even have somebody sent me the fluoride deception. But I had notes before the fluoride deception on it, and then I have many even in my I have tons of different books and stuff like that. Just tons of different books. No, these are books that I've purchased, but I've read long before I even purchased them. And if my notes as well, like this is what I said. Let me write down these 3 groups of notes. Now, as far as I had to go to Apocrypha, and I went through that, and I used the Compact Bible Dictionary to go ahead and pull those things, because I wanted to. Yeah, you just don't have to use the internet, people. It's good to actually learn how to read a map instead of GPS, but because I used a map to get here. Y'all know that? Yes. Like when I used to drive for Napa Auto Parts, it's not bragging. I didn't have GPS to utilize, even though it was a thing. The Napa Auto Part trucks, we had maps. We literally had to drive and open a map up and route where we had to go, whether it's in the sticks to drop off 2 motors for race cars, or, the good old boys, or whatever. You had to use a map, and we're talking about driving miles, 8 hours, getting the parts, popping them in the back of the truck and getting out there and getting it done. And I did that for quite a while. And that's how I was able to build my lowrider. So I sit here and I make these notes, and what I do is I collaborate them with information. I don't get every bit of information. So what I do is I find the most predictive, by assumption that y'all will probably look at this. That's big upping you, okay? And what I do is I take that, and then I compose in order, like puzzle pieces, what makes sense as far as to deliver the proper output. That maybe you may receive it, and you may be receptive of it. Okay. So again, I appreciate you guys, my beloved sisters and my brothers. You always know it's nothing but love. And maybe this Friday, I'm not even gonna say nothing. Positive affirmations, right? I believe y'all get us here. Y'all get us there, and I'll spend that. I'm ready to go out and get like 2 big cheese pieces. I ain't lying, y'all. I'm not lying. 2 big cheese, pineapple, and I know pizza's bad for me, that flour, because it's not the same stuff like, Papa Tony's and Mario's and all them back home used to make the best, the fresh dough, I'm ready to be like, can I get $100 worth of pizzas? Which over here, that would be about 3 with everything on it. I'm not going to do that. Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm going to eat these lentils and these chickpeas and beans and this red chard and cilantro and parsley, and the stuff is good. My cooking's good. And I'm gonna have my tuna cabbage rolls. And sprouts, I gotta buy some new ones, y'all. So otherwise I would actually record a video and show you how to make the fried and olive oil cabbage rolls with the chickpeas and the flax and all that kind of stuff. And then it's phenomenal. That's all I gotta say. I got some walnuts and some pecans. I was gonna make some sauce, like cheese sauce. I'm not doing all that. I don't feel like spending an hour. This stuff is warmed up. Everything's ready on the stove. 2 o'clock, I'm eating. And we get the read on, all right? So I love y'all and appreciate you. Who's that? I'm Baby Slaughter. You're welcome, man. Marcus Williams, Delusion of the Hand, T. Hines. What's going on, beloveds? Legends of Naga Charlie, what's going on? What's going on, beloved? Like I said, I'll always utilize certain quotes from certain bibliographies, okay? I don't believe in the word religion. If you do, go right ahead. But I appreciate y'all taking the time to hear it out, and I hope you got something from it. All right? See y'all roughly about 2 hours and 20 something minutes, okay?